Hey guys, so it's LittleMissSimmies here, and you don't recognize this household that I'm in at the moment, but I'm in it because I want to try something new. I've been looking into other people's Sims YouTube channels recently, and I've always watched The Sims Supply, and he started posting again, Flabaluki, so I've been watching a lot of his stuff. That's really inspired me to get out of my Sims 1, Sims 2 retro funk and more into the modern stuff that you guys are probably more into, obviously. That's probably why you're on this channel. So him along with, I've been watching a lot of Queen, TheQuxxn is how I pronounce it, but I know people call her the Queen, and Curtis Paradis, and Meg Loves Games. She's a new YouTuber, and she's really nice. She seems really nice. So I've been looking into her stuff as well. So I can put their channel links in the description below. Curtis Paradis and the Queen are probably giveaways, but I can link the Sim Supply and Meg Loves Games because they're both pretty awesome YouTubers and they both have awesome accents. So if that's not a selling point, I don't know what is. So this is going to be a my current household that I've noticed other Sim channels do, where you just kind of show the people on your channel around the current household that you're playing. So yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and zoom through the evening. Sure. Actually, you know what I need to do though? Stop. Exit. Give me a moment. I'm just gonna try to make my game run a bit faster. Okay, so hopefully that makes it a bit faster. I think that Fraps has slowing ability on my game, which isn't good, but yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom through the rest of the night so that I can show you where they live during the daytime. So, in the meantime, I'm just going to be telling you about this family. So, obviously, maybe you could tell, maybe you couldn't. They live in Lucky Palms. Sorry for how slow my game is, like, rotating and stuff. They live in Lucky Palms on one of these boat house things on here. Yes. They live on the second one in on the right here. So, obviously, it doesn't... Who's walking in? Who's that? Cody Ray? Who are you? Leave. Anyway, this is their house, and it doesn't quite look like the original house that is given on the, on this particular spot of land, and that's because I've done quite a bit of remodeling over the time, and over the time, by that, I mean that this is I believe a 4th generation family. Let me see if I can pull up the family tree. So I wanted to do a legacy. So it started with Lynette Paris. That was her name, and she was really, really pretty. And then she had 2 children. I don't know why Garfield's still alive, but Garfield and Raylyn, and obviously I chose Raylyn because I want to do an all-girl legacy. So then Raylyn had 4 children that I'll go into, 5 children. She had 4 and then she adopted 1 so that she could have a boy because you're supposed to have at least 1 boy and 1 girl in each generation, and so I wanted to adopt a boy. He just couldn't be the heir, but that's okay because I wanted a girl. So the heir from that generation was Dolores, who is now a grandmother. Well, not a grandmother, she's just an elder. And she got married to Reed, and then they had triplets, and she had 1 of each gender, or not really, she had 2 boys and 1 girl, so that covered all the children for the generation, and then the heiress is obviously going to be Faith. Badoon. So, I don't know who that's supposed to be. Half-sister, right, because the father, Reed, had an old girlfriend and has, like, another child with a different person, say. But that's not actually part of the legacy. So, yeah, I don't know if that makes any sense. I hope it makes sort of sense. But yeah, so I'm just going to keep fast forwarding so I can show you around the house and the town. Something that you probably don't see right now, but I will show you, is that every heiress so far has had freckles by Paper Cat, I believe. Just because I love freckles, and so they have like the freckle skin where freckles are all over their body, and it's so cute. So that I've just been doing that. And then also, while I've been doing this human legacy, I've also been doing a dog legacy, because you can see how many dogs they have. They're all related. I'll actually show you the dog family tree now if my game wants to stop being so slow. Fraps has been doing some crazy stuff, because as soon as I stop Fraps, my game works perfectly fine. Okay, let me just pause this and see if it stops the freezing. Okay. So I just want to click on one of the dogs and head into Remo, into his family tree. So it started, I don't know why they're still alive, but it started with Sweet, who they adopted in the first generation. And then he got married to Cinnamon, and they had 3 puppies, and it's always so sad when they die, but 3 puppies. And then every time the parents move out with the non-heirs, they take the dogs that aren't going to be breeding the next generation. So they took the other dogs and left me with Rue, because Rue was so cute. And then Rue had Bobby, Poochka, and Jack. And then I believe Poochka was the father of the next generation, yes. And then now we're to the current one, and I think Remo is going to be the father of the next one, if possible. So I've got a little dog legacy going on as well, but I think they're on the 5th generation, to be honest. So yeah, I'm going to try to fast forward a bit more without my game freaking freezing. Give me 1 second, I got a text. Sorry that I keep pausing during this Let's Play. I'm being kind of, a mess. So anyway, yeah, I just wanted to turn daytime. Lucky Palms also has a really, really pretty sunrise and sunset, so maybe we can get a little bit of a view of that. Lucky Palms is now it was my #1 favorite town. Well, #2, I guess, because Sunset Valley holds a special place in my heart. But, now my favorite is Sunlit Tides. Maybe you can tell from the amount of fangirling that went on during my Sunlit Tides walkthrough overview. But yeah, just like look how pretty Lucky Palms is. EA has been doing a really good job with creating towns and new premium content, and so I've been having a bit of fun with that. I love how the sky changes, and it's a really beautiful place to live in, especially when you live on one of these boat houses, because it just looks over the water and super pretty. So now that it's daytime, I'm going to take a moment to show you around the house. It's probably messy, but I'm going to go ahead and turn the walls up so you can get the full effect. Turn on all lights, just so that you have a pretty good view. So you walk in through this door, and through the generations, I wish I had pictures of the old houses, but through the generations, I've tried to make the entryways and stuff a bit nicer. It looks pretty nice right now. Voice just cracked. So you walk in, and you turn to the right, and you have this little coffee table with very sad, God, my voice is cracking, with very sad, dog urns. So you have Rue Paris, who was, like I said, an heir, Poochka, who was an heir, and Noodle, who was not an heir, but the wife of an heir. So it's kind of sad and depressing, so we're just going to skip over that, but it's a nice little area, and every time the dog dies, I like to collect them somewhere so that they're not forgotten. So you walk in, going up the right is the staircase, and it's just a nice little staircase. You turn to the left and you have a study for the kids, because I've learned through time that it's pretty difficult for the children to do their homework anywhere else in the house, because the kitchen's always going to be dirty. It's a lot of sins and a lot of dogs to take care of. So I've learned that just separating a room like a study for the kids to do homework in is good. But as you can see, the dogs have gotten a hold of the seat, and it's almost unsittable. The dogs used to destroy literally everything until it got to a point where I just used a special little cheat called Testing Cheats Enabled True, and I removed their destructive traits that I did not pick, but they had them. I removed them because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. They were destroying everything. My voice keeps cracking. This little awkward section here used to house the dog bowls, but then I went through a phase where I locked all the dogs out, so I put all their stuff outside. So pardon that. And then you continue a little further, and you go into the revamped kitchen. The kitchen is the one thing that is consistently changed every generation. now that we're going on to the 5th generation of this legacy. And I actually haven't played this legacy in a little bit, so that's probably why I'm asking some questions about it to myself. But I used to play this nonstop, but schoolwork has been getting in my way. But I really wanted to do a My Current Household, and I wanted to get back into this family, so I thought that this might help. So if you continue through here, through this entryway, you hit the kitchen, which this generation I've gone to a more retro style with yellow and little different cabinets and stuff. I don't know how to describe that. Obviously a lot more retro. They have a nice window here. This is custom content. I don't remember where I got it, so don't ask. But yeah, and then obviously you can see the dogs got to that chair. Thanks a lot. And just a nice plant. And over here you have the waste bin and a lamp. This lamp came with the house in Generation 1, and I never really got rid of it. This was the oven that the kids, or I guess Faith, used to bake goods when she was a child. And then through the kitchen you can reach the bathroom, which at this point I should probably move the door over here, but I don't really feel like it. I kind of like having it through the kitchen. Yes. And then I really like the way this is set up. This wall has been here every generation, slightly modified each generation, but still. I have this little see-through window so that she can like call to the kids. Obviously that doesn't happen, but I just do it because I enjoy it. So behind the wall, you have a blockade for the sitting area. You have some of my favorite couches pointed to the TV, also retro. I really like the retro theme. And a nice little game console so that the kids can play with it. And yeah. And then also on the wall, I have pictures from every generation. Maybe this is only I don't know. But anyway, I have pictures from every generation. Along the left is the Generation Heiress. I don't have pictures with the Generation Heiress as a child, obviously, because I started with her as a young adult. So Generation 1 holding Generation 2 as a toddler. And then in the second row, or I guess column, in the second column of photos, I have the Generation 2 heiress holding Generation 3 heiress. In the second picture is the Generation 3 heiress with her sister. And then the bottom one is her prom picture. And then along the right is still a work in progress. That is the Generation 4 heiress holding Generation 5, Faith. And Faith is still growing up, but you know, now I'm trying to get more of a collage of their different age groups, so I can snag a picture of Faith as a teen soon enough. But it's really fun to have that and show the different stages of the family. So yeah, I love that wall. I'm trying to think of what else I need to cover. I'm not really going to do any gameplay. I'm just going to kind of tell you about the family. I guess I can do the upstairs now. So the upstairs hallway area kind of looks like the bottom one. And then you just go through this door and you reach the triplets room. This used to be broken up into 2 or even 3 rooms, but when the triplets were born, I thought it might be helpful to turn it into one big cumulative room and have each little area specialized for each child. So I still haven't changed this because they just turned into teenagers last time I played, so I didn't really get to change anything up. But basically, this is Faith. She sleeps in the corner, and then they each have something over their bed that represents them. So she has this little picture that I need to change because Faith is like the good girl. To the right, I have Pierre, who is like the cool brother, the one that their dad, what's his name? I don't even remember his name. It's the one, Pierre is like the one that the dad loves, and over him is just like a fighter plane, whatever. And then you have Chase, who is the kind of the forgotten triplet. But him and Pierre are really close, but the older they get, the less close they are. And so Chase just has a little train over his bed. Obviously, I need to change this. But yeah, and then over here they have Remo sleeping in their room. I think Remo's an elder. Yeah, he's an elder. He has gray everywhere. But then, obviously, as you can tell, I really do need to change this because they have all these kitty things, a dollhouse, and a little play table. This can stay, but a lot of it does need to change, but it's still a really cute room, regardless. And then over here is the grandparents' room. Not grandparents, but you know what I mean. So at this point, you can probably see the... Oh, that was a bad move. At this point, you can probably see the freckles on the Generation 4 heiress better. she was adorable. I loved her. She was like a little rocker chick, and that's why her room is decorated so darkly and hipstery. So I should probably change this now that they're in their elder stage, but I haven't had the heart to yet, just because, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. But basically her story was that when she moved out, or when, actually, since every generation has lived here, like, when she became a young adult and her parents and brothers, or whatever, her parents and her other siblings moved out. She was on her own, and she wanted to pursue the rocker career, but this is also a speed legacy, which I probably should have mentioned before, but since it's a speed legacy, everything is super fast, and you don't really get a chance to reap the benefits of everything, but it keeps it fresh, it keeps it fun, and it really works for this type of challenge. So since it's a speed legacy, basically the role of the mother is just to get children out, at least one of each gender, and then have an heiress who fits like the role that I want her to be. And so when she wanted to be in the rocker career, as you can see here, she had a hard time because she knew like what responsibilities she had being the heiress, but she wanted to live her own life. Obviously I made this all up in my head, but she was really adorable. She had like red hair when she was younger. I honestly wish I had pictures to show you. I can probably put a couple pictures in, so I'll show a couple pictures right here, of her, of Dolores when she was a young adult. So those are the pictures. And then, so she wanted to be a rocker, and her boyfriend, Reed, he was kind of like a one-night stand for her, and then she got pregnant, and then when she had triplets, which I wasn't expecting to have triplets, she couldn't handle them by herself, but Reed was like being like an annoying sim, and he wasn't taking any of her calls or like wanting anything to do with her. But then finally, I got them married so that she could have a bit of help with the triplets. They don't have the healthiest relationship, but Reed as well is a rock star. Obviously, it's not his lifetime wish, but he's in the rocker career quartet member, so he's not quite a rocker, but he's in the orchestra. And she is a stagehand, so she hasn't gotten very far because she had triplets. So that's kind of their story, and that's why the room is so dark. That's just kind of their style. And then over here is just a little bathroom and whatnot. And then I just love the view, and every generation has always kind of been fishers. It's kind of like the family activity. But I'm super excited for Faith. I'll wake her up in a moment. Let's have her wake up now, actually. I'm super excited for Faith to be a young adult, and then she can start popping out kids. So let's change her into a more suitable outfit for her introduction. She's the only one I'm going to introduce since she's the Generation 5 heiress, but she's awkwardly smiling at her brother, but she's super adorable. Just like, I love her freckles, I love her dark hair and her dark eyes, which is so different from any other heiress I've had so far in this Speed Legacy. She's just got like a really nice face, and it always looks like she's smiling. She kind of smizes, like smiling with your eyes. And she wears a really cute lace romper, obviously not see-through, it just has a lace pattern, don't worry. And then cute little booties. And so she's adorable. And I'm only going to go over her traits. She's a vehicle enthusiast, a savvy sculptor, eccentric, and athletic. So, pretty much, I want her to be a sculptor when she's older. That way, while she's pregnant, actually, I don't know if you can sculpt while you're pregnant, but when she's older, I want her to have, like, a stay-at-home job so she doesn't have to go out, and then her husband can get a real job. But sculpting could be good for her, because, the Generation 4 heiress, 3 heiress, was a painter, and she used to always paint right here, looking over the waters, and it was, pretty cool. So, I mean, I don't know how much more I'm supposed to tell you. Like, as you can tell, she was already working on her sculpting skill. And I'm not gonna I don't want to do any gameplay, because I'm gonna be doing some of my Sims 3 Let's Play after this. Yes, I am. So, yeah, I don't really want to go that much into it, but I suppose that can just wrap this up. I mean, it was really fun. What's that? Is that just a weird shadow? It's a really weird shadow. But anyway, I suppose that can wrap this up. because I don't have that much more to say. I will say that I love Lucky Palms, though. Lovely town. But yeah, guys, thanks. Wait, what's that? I've never seen that before. What's that supposed to be? Nothing? Weird. Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. If you liked this type of my current household video, it's kind of a change from what I normally do. If you like this, then let me know in the comments below, and I really hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be getting some Sims 3 Let's Plays out soon enough, and no more Sims 2 Let's Plays, which I will be explaining in the next episode of the Sims 3 Let's Play, so watch out for that, and thanks a lot, guys. I will see you next time.